Hello, my name is Brandon Sidlow, and you might know me from the Croclog podcast that I do with Dr. Adam Britton. He's based in Darwin, Australia, but I'm actually based here in Southern California. Southern California is not the best place to be if you're a crocodile expert. There are no crocodilian species native to this area, and none within driving distance. Occasionally someone will release a pet alligator, but by and far, there isn't a whole lot for me to do locally, crocodile-wise. I have to travel. Thankfully, I travel a lot down to Sinaloa, Mexico, Jalisco, Mexico, to work on the American crocodile. And recently, I was in Sinaloa, Mexico, helping a group do surveys for American crocodiles in an area near Culiacan, which is really cool because that's near the northernmost edge of the American crocodile range. And we noticed just amazing densities. It was pretty cool, but I'll let them tell you when their study's completed. But anyways, basically, I work on the CrocBITE project with Dr. Adam Britton, and in addition to the Croclog podcast. And so I decided it'd be a good idea to do a sort of YouTube show during the times when either Adam is busy working on stuff or I'm busy working on stuff. We could do something by ourselves that would help bridge the gap, so to speak. So something for everyone to watch. And on this program, I'm going to talk about a lot of things related to crocodilians, of course, crocodile attacks, since that's what I'm an expert at. I'm an expert at crocodile attacks, human crocodile conflict, and distribution. I wouldn't pretend to be an expert in many other facets of crocodilian biology, but in those areas, I really know my stuff. So we'll be talking about a lot of that. We'll be dispelling some myths, since that's a really big thing. And I decided to call this program CrocBITES because we're just going to be giving you bites of information. This isn't going to be like an hour-long program or anything, maybe 15 minutes or something like that. So you get some nice bites of information. We'll be going over different things each time. So today, for this first program, I decided to look at some misinformation. Some things I've noticed over the past 20 years while doing crocodilian research, and that I see stuff that really makes me just like, there's so much misinformation out there. It's in everything nowadays on the internet. I mean, misinformation in politics, misinformation in the news, misinformation in pretty much anything. And crocodilian news is no exception to that. So we're going to look at a few videos that were posted online. A lot of these videos were circulated. Some of them are photos. Were circulated, wide and far, and a lot of times the locations were incorrect. They said something occurred in one place and it occurred in another, or they said it occurred in a place where there weren't even crocodilian populations at all. So so we're going to go into a little bit of that. So first and foremost, I'd like to show you the first video that I'm going to kind of break down. Warning. It's not a pleasant video. It's a video from the aftermath of a crocodile attack, a fatal crocodile attack. So here you go. So yeah, not very pleasant. As you can see, there's a crocodile swimming with the guy's body in its mouth, in its jaws, and someone is videotaping it from the vegetation. Now, that video has circulated a lot since it was recorded. It's been labeled as occurring in Sierra Leone. It's been reported as occurring in Ghana, Mexico, parts of South America, just all over the place. And none of those are accurate. And if you look very closely at the video, you can see that it's actually a saltwater crocodile, Crocodylus porosus. You can tell by the head, the lateral lines. It's a real telltale sign for saltwater crocodile. There's a lot of features that are obvious saltwater crocodiles. And luckily for me, since I collect crocodile attack reports for CrocBITE, I actually collected that attack when it happened. So I saw the video right when it was posted, and that actually occurred in southeast Sulawesi, which is a province in Sulawesi, in Indonesia. Um, so not in Sierra Leone, not in Ghana. It occurred on Buton Island, which is an island off the southeastern coast of Sulawesi. And we don't really know what's going on there. There's been a lot of crocodile attacks there over the last 10 years, and they seem to be increasing there. But we don't know how many crocodiles there are. The fact is that sometimes crocodile attacks increase even in areas where there aren't that many crocodiles, because there are a lot of factors that lead to an increase in human-crocodile conflict. But anyways, that video was from Sulawesi, and it involves a saltwater crocodile. It's not a Nile crocodile, not a West African crocodile, not an American crocodile. And the person who was filming it, I believe, was a family member. The victim was actually, it occurred in April 2019. The victim was trying to repair a pipe of some kind, some sort of a plumbing type thing. And he was underwater, the croc grabbed him, and then they later saw the croc swimming around with him in its jaws. So yes, that's one myth dispelled. Now we're going to look at another video. It's also disturbing. So particularly disturbing for any dog lovers, and which I am myself. So fair warning, and you may have seen it before, but here we go. Okay, so yes, very sad, very disturbing. As you can see, it's a large crocodile swimming with a dead large black dog in its jaws. Now, that video, I've been seeing that video since it was first posted in around 2014, if I remember correctly. In 2015, a friend of mine, who's not a crocodile expert, it's just a local friend, sent me the video, and it had been posted on YouTube as occurring in Oxnard Harbor here in Southern California, which of course is ridiculous. Now, that's no fault of hers. She doesn't know that. A lot of people are just unaware of where crocodilians can be found. Now, in Oxnard, no crocodile, that species in that video, would not survive for long. Our waters may not be Arctic waters, but California's coastal waters are pretty cold. You know, we get that Arctic flow. It's not warm, and definitely not warm enough for a crocodile. So a crocodile would not last long. And alligator might last for a little while, because alligators have a better tolerance for cold. But in the video, that is a crocodile. And thankfully, I know exactly where that occurred, because I've been there, and I actually, whenever I go to this location, I eat dinner right in front of where that occurred. There's a really nice restaurant. That occurred in Marina Vallarta, which is in Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco, Mexico. And it occurred right in the marina. And that is an American crocodile, a fairly large American crocodile. It looks like to be in the, 11, 12 foot range, and is a well-known crocodile. And sadly, the crocodile is no longer with us. It had died a couple of years later. I'm not sure if it was killed or if it had died in some other way. But friends of mine who work in Jalisco were very familiar with the crocodile in the incident. So yeah, definitely not from Oxnard. It's also been reported to be occurred in a whole bunch of other places. In none of those places, it's an American crocodile from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And I know what you're thinking. There's crocodiles in Puerto Vallarta? A lot of people who go down to Puerto Vallarta and Cancun and a lot of other these Mexican resort cities, they don't know that crocodiles are native to almost all of them. The only major Mexican resort city that I can think of that doesn't have crocodiles is Cabo San Lucas. There are no crocodiles, native crocodiles, in Baja California. However, Puerto Vallarta, Acapulco, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, any of these places have crocodiles, especially all the coastal places. They have crocodiles. And in the case of Cancun, they have two species, the American crocodile and the Morlet's crocodile, and hybrids between the two. So in Puerto Vallarta, it's all American crocodiles, but they get really big. The largest I've seen in Jalisco was over 5 meters. It's in a little town called La Manzanilla, south of Puerto Vallarta. But anyways, yes, that was an American crocodile, not in Oxnard Harbor, nowhere else. Now, we're going to look at some photos now, not a video. Now, this is really old, and many of you maybe remember this from, it's almost 20 years ago now. Well, 15 years ago since they were posted, but 20 years since it happened. So here's some photos. And the photos are of, supposedly, of a very large crocodile captured in Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Now, there are a lot of problems with that. For anybody who knows crocodilians, there's a lot of problems with that. Number one, there are no crocodiles in Louisiana. Louisiana has American alligators. That has a lot of them, 1.5 million last I checked, but they don't have any crocodiles. And the photos clearly show a Nile crocodile, a very large Nile crocodile, not an American alligator. So it turns out the photos were actually from 2003 in the Republic of Congo. And there was a very large crocodile that was killed. It appeared, and furthermore, the article's claim is 21 foot long Nile crocodile and it's 4,500 pounds. Neither of those are true. The crocodile is not 21 feet tall. It's not even, 21 feet long. It's not even close to that. Looks to me to be more like the 4.5 meter range, which is about 15 feet, maybe. With Nile crocodiles, they're a lot more heavy bodied than some of the other larger crocodile species, including the saltwater crocodile. So a 4 meter Nile crocodile might look like a 5 meter saltwater crocodile. They just get bulkier. They don't get as long as saltwater crocodiles, but they're bulkier. So over-exaggeration of size is very common. Furthermore, if you look closely at the photos, it's clearly not New Orleans. But so yes, that circulated everywhere. I remember I was in Costa Rica in 2008, and I was photographing some caiman and American crocodiles in a little lagoon in a little town called Puerto Jimenez. And a guy from Louisiana was there hanging out behind me, watching me do photos, and he said, like, oh yeah, there's tons of giant crocodiles in Louisiana. And I said, no, there aren't. There are alligators. And he started to get kind of defensive. He's like, oh, well, I saw this on, and I was like, that was from the Republic of Congo. And he refused to believe me, and which, of course, this is a common thing nowadays. People will see evidence, but they refuse to accept it. But anyways, yes, this has circulated wide and far, but it actually is from the Republic of the Congo in 2003, not Louisiana. So, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. This is kind of a test run. This is my first time doing this as a test run. I hope you liked it. I figured I'd go over 3 little things and see if maybe I'll get a little more comfortable in front of the camera next time. We're going to do a lot of cool stuff, have a lot more multimedia stuff, and please check out the CrocBITE website, which will be updated very soon. Right now, the CrocBITE website itself is kind of in disarray. We are going to kind of wipe the slate clean and get rid of all the data and upload all of our new data, because the problem is over the years there's kind of been a rift between the offline database, which is comprehensive and really complete, and the online database, which is kind of fractured because there's been a lot of changes and a lot of other stuff going on, and it's very slow, so it's hard to upload everything. So we have about maybe 1,200 attacks on the offline database that are not on the online database. So that's going to change. We're going to do that. We're going to add some really cool papers to the CrocBITE website. We wrote a kind of a retrospective look at crocodile attacks from 2010 to 2020 that we never published, and we're thinking about putting that on the website, as well as a 2011 to 2021 retrospective, just to kind of analyze what happened during those decade periods. It's also worth noting that CrocBITE started in 2010, so it'll be kind of a nice 10-year look at what we've been doing. We're also going to update the contributors page, because that hasn't been updated since like 2013 or 2014, and we have a lot of people who have helped us since then that aren't on there, so that's going to be updated. A lot of cool stuff's happening. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, the CrocBITE Worldwide Crocodile Attack Database Facebook page. Instagram, we have an Instagram account, same thing, CrocBITE Instagram, the CrocBITE database on Instagram. And then lastly, we have a Twitter account, and every week we're hosting polls, looking at different crocodilian-related stuff. It's all kind of related to attacks, but not all of it. Like our last poll involved looking at crocodiles that can swim long distances at sea. And we'll also be posting crocodile attack news and other stuff on there as well. And we'll be doing more of the croc log soon as well, so you won't just have to look at my face. And we'll be doing video podcasts, hopefully. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you.